down so you can get this. There you go. Very good. Say good morning, Tammy.
Good morning.
Looking pretty today, honey. You are. Okay. So let's have a look here. Q&A session. Let's see. DNG Automotive says, my French Bulldog puppies are 7 weeks old and I've been told by the vet that 3 of the 4 have flat chests. What should I do? Well, if they got flat chests because they're not getting up on it, it's 3 or 4. How old did they say they were? 7 weeks old. Well, I mean, they should be up on their feet by now, which taping their feet up is not going to help that. If they're not up on their feet, you absolutely need to take them up.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably because they haven't been up on their feet.
Right.
And you probably didn't tape them up when you should have done it about 3 or 4 weeks old.
Yeah.
That's probably the cause for it. Probably get better, but there's much else you can do on this. I've seen things where people put a round tube around their chest to try to push the sides in and push the front out. That might work, but you know, I'm not sure I got a good answer on that.
They're that age, they're take a while.
Yes. Fidel Guerrero says, this breeder's trying to sell me his Isabella for $13,000. Only thing is, he told me his sperm count is low, like 1 cc. Is it worth it or should I turn it down? Well, I mean, you got to tell me a lot more about the dog, you know, before I can tell you structure of the dog. I mean, look, a dog with lousy structure, not worth buying. A dog that has a low sperm count, if it really is that, well, it's not really good as a stud dog. So those are 2 no-nos. But I mean, $13K for an Isabella would not be expensive at all.
Taking a gamble.
Yeah. I am who I am says, can I get a typed out version of your whiteboard notes? I'd like to get the spelling correctly on the meds. Sorry, not enough time for this in my life. I got too busy doing all this stuff as it is to unfortunately put transcripts up for people. Sorry about that. I mean, I like the fact that you asked, but I can't do it. Sia Singe, hey, I'm currently deployed but will be returning to the US next spring. Do you sell puppies? Do you have a litter soon? Well, yeah, we do have litters, but right now we're a bit thin on the ground. I think Cody's got.
Maybe 2 more left.
Yeah, I got a couple
Lilac and tans and pearls and platinums and
but you're looking at something next spring, so you know we don't have anything bred personally. We don't, but I mean things change. So check back with us.
Always, you know, subscribe to our YouTube videos.
Yep.
Keep update there. There's people saying, you know, our website's not up to date. Well, it's because we sell them so quick.
Well, our website's not up to date though too, so I need to go get that done. So I will work on that this next week. Yeah. It's just for the stud point of view anyway, because we've got some new studs aren't even up on there. Ogon Martel, I artificially inseminated a female 4 days ago. She was fine, no smell, nothing. Then when I went back, she had this bad smell. When I put the rod in, it was brownish red on the end. Also took the female and the sperm fell right out. Well, a couple of things. First off, if you're worried that a dog has a vaginitis or a pyometria, go take his temperature. Temperature of 101.5, anything around that number, go to the vet, need antibiotics. Number 2 is if the sperm fell right out, it means you didn't keep the girl's back end up in the air like this, with her head on the ground for at least 30 minutes. Alex Viella, my Frenchie's on day 59, temperature's 98.7, progesterone 3.29. She's actually totally fine though. When should I expect to go into labour? For a C-section. Got some replies here. Yeah, well, the answer to this is as long as you got that thermometer all the way and that's an accurate temperature of 98.7 and a progesterone level of 3.29, you are close, if not 24 hours or less out, I would think. But my advice to you would be just to pay attention to her, and when she starts doing any nesting or panting, it's probably time to go to the vet. I think we're talking about AI here. I'm 5'3" and I have a 90-pound Alaskan Shepherd Husky mix. She's probably 4 to 5 foot long. How do I accomplish this procedure? Well, she's talking about doing an AI. Well, get somebody to help you. That's the answer. If you can't control the dog, because the dog's too big, get somebody there who can. So there's no magic to this. I mean, you could give a dog a Benadryl and calm the dog down a little bit with some Benadryl. I mean, you could do that if you wanted to, and kind of make the dog a bit drowsy. But really, you know, if you're a small person with a big dog and the dog's rowdy, get somebody to help you.
Well,
Is the answer to
get
that.
those from PetSmart, those calmies.
Okay.
It's kind of like, what is it, CBD?
CBD oil?
Not
Okay.
oil, but it's tablets.
Chewy, yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And then you ask how long should the rod be? Well, the AI rods we use are 10 inches long. That'd be long enough to AI any dog you could come up with, and you just get as much of it as you can. On a dog that size, you're probably going to, if it's open, you're going to get the majority of that rod in. Certainly 8 inches. One-year-old had Biff Entertainment says, thank you for sharing. I changed Shih Tzu's food, now little Tushy's inflamed. Well, I mean, it could be other things, you know, but it could be the food. But if you think it's the food, go back to some of the food and find out.
Her tushy?
Susan Brocksmith said, CHV, you did not touch on that. Yeah, I got a whole video on CHV. So it's there to be seen.
Yeah. Someone was asking about insemination and blah, blah, blah. If you have that on videos, and it was like, yeah.
Probably 3 or 4. Tracy
More than
O'Connor.
that.
About to have a little doodles. Expenses are racking up. What are the odds that I will need oxygen? Cheapest used one I'm finding is $300. And if I need it, will it be in crisis? Like, do I need to have it on hand? Well, this is like a first aid kit. You know, when do you need a first aid kit? You can't predict it. When you need a first aid kit, you need it now. You know, somebody's cut their hand off, time for a tourniquet, and not time to go and order one on Amazon. So the answer to this is that if you're going to do much of this, you will at some point absolutely be glad that you had an oxygen concentrator. Will you need one on this litter? Oh, I'd say maybe, you know, we use an oxygen concentrator maybe 1 in 4 litters. Big litters are much more likely because you have small puppies. So it's one of those things that if you have it, you can absolutely save a dog. Without it, and they're probably going to be in trouble. I'd get one. Joanne Mina says, how long do I need to keep a heat lamp on puppies?
Oh, take the heat lamp off. Good Lord.
0. Well, so here's the deal. Look, a lot of people do use heat lamps. We hate heat lamps because
It
they
can fall on the puppy, burn the puppy. It can burn you when you're in there. It makes mama hot and miserable. It can sunburn the puppies.
We've had that happen. Back a long time ago, we had
A
labs.
long time ago,
Yeah.
about 25 years ago,
Yeah.
we did that.
So I don't know how old
No
your puppies are, so maybe too late on this particular one, but what we do recommend is our heated whelping system. And the idea behind this is you don't use a heat pad, and you don't use a lamp.
Well, look at the video. You'll see how
What
it
you do
works.
is you put our patented heat tape goes around the perimeter of your crate and that underneath the pig rail, and the puppies migrate to the pig rail so that they stay in the warm area, safe, protected from being squished, and mum doesn't have any extra heat. So we don't like heat lamps, so we're going to say get rid of that right away.
Go to mybreederssupply.com and there's videos on our heated whelping system on how it works and why it works.
Yes. Jennifer Harris, have you ever had a relaxing test show negative but the dog was pregnant? I did a relaxing test yesterday and the girl would be at 35 days. There was only control line, no second line. But multiple people said they have a relaxing test and the dog was not pregnant, the dog was. So my experience with this is that just the very faintest of line, any line at all, is a dog that is pregnant. You've got a place to go yet. It's a dog that is pregnant. But you've got to do this test at 30 days after AI or later for it to work. If you do it earlier, you could very easily get a negative test when the dog's pregnant. Our experience with this has been, and we sell this product from My Breeder Supply, so I do occasionally have people who say, you know, I'm not sure if it's right. But the answer is, if you do the test properly, for us it's been 100% accurate. So if you're in doubt on this and you think it's wrong, do another test after another 10 days. But our experience has been very good with them. Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.